Just find a nice space and yeah, just connect your feet on the floor, whether you're barefoot or wearing shoes or slippers, doesn't matter. Start to shift your weight, so it's almost skiing down the slope. Very gentle, but you can do this with your eyes closed or open. There's no sort of, and just rocking the body while keeping the hips, spine tall. Yeah, you can even place your hands around the hips. Just feel it sort of, maybe feel sort of thigh muscles, muscles around the knees, having to sort of support the body, you know, to otherwise we'll sort of go all over, right? So you can even add a little steps into it, almost momentarily lifting the foot off the floor. If this feels little, if you have a sort of any pain or sort of uncomfortable, feeling any sort of strain on the ankles, just stay with the swaying the body, just left and right, like this, yeah? If you want to wake up the balance even more, how about this? Look, lift the leg up a little higher, keep the leg straight. I find this is a really useful exercise to sort of, we all talk about how our glutes are not activated. This is one of the really simple exercises to activate those glutes, you know, like side step with a leg raise like this, lateral kick, yeah? Just hold the weight on one leg for a second or so. We're gonna do this for another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and good. Now, shake that leg out, doesn't matter, just transfer the weight on the other leg and shake. Yeah, let's get the multi-jointing. So as you shake your leg, shake your fingers with it. Shake your hands as if you want to rinse your hands. Yeah. Nice. Keep going. Let's just give some attention to our hands and forearms, known as the flexor muscle groups. Very underrated in my opinion. Hardly ever see anybody talk about how important the hand muscle groups are, but they are sort of the very first thing that we touch or we respond when we even do any exercise. So just be mindful of when you pull back. You don't want to do it too much, but you should feel, so if you lift your arms up, so if you just one arm, just take it above your head like this, you should feel an even nicer stretch, just not too much. Keep the elbows straight and yeah. Okay, so change your hands if you haven't done yet. Just go, just hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds. That's okay, yeah. Okay. For any reason you can't hear me, okay, Maripol might be having issues. Okay, Kenny, let me see if I can. Okay, let's try now, see how that works. Good, shake the hands out. Good. Let's look at this sort of bigger joints, starting with the shoulders, rolling the shoulders up and around, down, take it sort of circular motion. About 3 to 5 circles. Then see if we can repeat the same but opposite direction. So change the cycle. Yeah. As you start just focusing on the shoulders, let's lift it with this sort of backstroke type of. If you've been watching Olympics, you've seen those backstrokes. So think about. Don't avoid any sort of leaning. So tall hips, really encourage the shoulder to go through this almost like a 360-degree turn around. One more. Yeah. It's actually okay to do this one at a time. Sometimes people like to do alternate hands. Yeah. Stay with it. We can, yeah, let's switch the sides, go a few backstrokes of type of motions with the opposite arm. Hey, do you know what? How about this? How about we make this a little bit harder? Stand on one leg if you can, and then see if you can still carry on with your with your circular motions, like 360 from the shoulder. Yeah. Oh. I like this plant, but it might not be around for too long. But knock it right over. All right, change the cycles. Opposite direction. You may notice that one motion feels more free. So for me personally, I can move freely, more freely coming over, sort of like throwing something, whereas going backwards, it's a little tense. Maybe it's a certain muscle groups might be tight for me, or you may notice that for yourself as well. Let's open up the chest a little bit while getting some feet across, so standing across, so shift, taking a sort of side step as you do this, yeah? Yeah. And even challenge them, create a more dynamic type of stretches. Open it up. Okay, can we do this now? Look, this might be a knee one. So let's just take a look at what I'm doing. So be careful of the back, but you don't want to lean forward too much. But look, chest up, touch the knee. Come in. You're touching inside of the knee. So you're stepping out, transferring a little bit more weight onto the sort of stabilizing leg, and tap. Step in, step out with the opposite leg, tap. Can we start with that? Don't hit it, just a little touch. Sort of cover it from outside of the kneecap. Keep the shoulders open as you moving. Beautiful, stay with me, that's nice. And just as long as you don't stop breathing, just breathe as normal. You may notice your heart rate will go up because we're increasing the steps. Just breathe nice and deep. Okay, let's try it. About 5 on each side. Can we touch the ankles now? So you're gonna have to reach a little bit lower. You may need a bit more space around you, so touch the inside of the sole, if anything. There you go. Oh, yes. Feels good to move the body when there's no pain, especially. Keep going for 2 more. 1 more. And again, shake your feet up. Just use this time to reset this sort of whole posture. Maybe roll the shoulders around. Hey ho, if you need a glass of water, take it. This is the opportunity to have a mini break. Next phase, we're going to really encourage the heart rate to go up. So just, if you wanted to use something to give you extra balance, feel free, don't be shy. But what I would like to keep an eye on is how, not necessarily how high it goes, but when we have a break, allow the time to come down, okay? So what we are gonna start with is a sort of like a marching type of step. Again, you can hold with one hand if you need a bit more balance. Otherwise, see if you can encourage this opposite sort of joints to work, yeah? Tall spine, there we go. Knees need to come up. Good. Let's add the side steps. I like it, make sure you got a space around you. Even if you do like 2 steps across and you're shuffling across the room. Can we speed up? Can we speed up? Good. As soon as we add the difficulty of the speed, exercise becomes harder. So increase the speed of any movement, exercise becomes challenging. Keep moving, keep moving. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Good, finish all the way. 4, 3, 2, 1. And shake things out. Just mini 3 seconds of break, and I want to demonstrate a next exercise. It's like a cross kick with an arm across. Give yourself a target again. For extra support, hold the wall or just something stable back of the chair, and then let's see if we can swing that leg up. You might see a gymnast will do something very sort of dynamic warm-up. It's a great way to release the infamous hamstrings, which are the back of the muscles back of the legs. Go on. About 2 more, roughly about 10 kicks from each leg. If it's a little bit more, don't panic, it's fine. little bit less, it's okay too. Let's switch your sides if you haven't done it yet. About 10 kicks across. Yeah. If we can't go for whole straight-legged, go with the knee. Show a target to the knee, kick. There we go, love that. Nice. And well done if you're doing both legs together, like across and across, even harder. Good. Now, you will be aware that what's happening. So body temperature might have increased, so that your heart needs to sort of compensate that change. So make sure windows, at least one of the windows that is open, get nice, fresh, clean air. Let's look to release some, still part of the warm-up phase. So let's release some tension from the lower back. And this is a good, simple exercise we've done before many times. Keep a nice close stance between your feet. You don't need to keep your legs completely straight, just slight softness in your knee, and then release. Or you want to roll from the shoulders gently, yeah. Especially with the first one. Take it as it comes, meaning you don't have to overflex yourself. Just try and round your spine from the top. Avoid any sort of bouncing or sort of jerking type of stretch. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and then come back up. We'll repeat this one more time. Take a deep breath in as you come up. Inhale. And exhale as you go out towards the floor. The idea is that as we warm up and stretch and work the muscle groups, I'd like us to maybe test this towards at the end of the session. And the fact is, more we relax and warm up the muscle in the right way, it stretches better. So you may even notice you might be able to go, I've seen people after 5, 6 inches further after the session, after about half an hour than they did when they were sort of cold before they did. Now, I'm just going to use something steady. That's actually okay to hold on to something, because let's really focus on the hips. I don't know if you've been doing this type of movement, but we've done this in the class. So really find a good balance on one leg, and then really focus on this hip turn. So allow the knee to come up, and almost sort of drawing a circle with this knee. Look, go up. Yeah. In terms of a few things to bear in mind, just focus how the ankle joint, the foot that it's touching the floor on this leg, look how it should be stabilizing you and keeping you balanced, because you may notice the knee might want to turn, yeah? So just try stop that, any sort of big movements from the knee, and use the ankle to help you to keep that stability. One more. Yeah. By the way, good job if you're doing this without holding. It's fine. Change the direction of the cycle. So just go the other way. So same leg still. You may actually start to feel the holding leg actually starts to sort of work. And use the muscle groups like your glutes, your thighs. 2 more. And good. Shake the standing leg because it's been under pressure. You can either face the opposite direction, or just if you're using the support, just turn it around. Good. Enough time to sort of ground yourself. Let's go out first. Really going for a big opening of the hip. Yeah, although we just taking the hip in the sort of like very similar to what we did with the shoulder, it's kind of what we're encouraging the hip to do. The purpose of the hips, again, they're strength producers. Any sort of power, speed, a lot of strength can come from the hip joint. So kicking things, change the cycle. When we do things like lunges or squats, you will That's the joint that we need to really connect and use the nice power. Good. One more. Shake. Good. While you've got the chair in front of you, one of the things that you can do, if we can just try 1 or 2 toe raises, if we just makes just be more efficient with our time as well. Just this is a part of a good way to activate the tendons. Up straight and then coming down as slow as we can. If you can let go of your hands and do it without the support, we're smiling, yeah. Even better. It's fine to hold that as well, just to give you that extra support. So here, up, quick, slowly, slowly, slowly down. One more, up. Very good. Thanks for trying that. Just create a bit more space now. We're going to give you a little mini break. Let's go for 30 seconds or so recovery time. Have a drink if you like. We are going to prepare some of the equipments, and one of the first is our latest and greatest technology in the weightlifting. Oh wow, some of us have dumbbells, great. Again, as we mentioned before, we don't need heavy weights. One of the difficulties to make the exercise harder, we can increase the speed. So let's load up the hands into almost like a shoulder press-like position, ready to them to sort of explode from the shoulder. So remember earlier I mentioned the shoulders and hips are strength producer muscle groups. So really focus on that speed and power going towards the ceiling in a vertical way. Okay, so look, drop the hips back into the heels, your hips go back, explode and press. So the extension from the hips and shoulders are together. So not the shoulder, not the hip first and the shoulder. So look, go up as one. You might have seen the Olympics weightlifters, right? So they'll pick the weight up from the floor there, and then they'll finish off with a little jump. That's kind of the power that we want. There you go, slowly down, and explode up. Breathe again. We're going to do this for time, another 30 seconds. Slow down, fast up. Really exhale from the abdominals as you push up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish your repetitions. All right. Keep the weights in your hands. Come a little bit closer to the screen. Make sure maybe sideways, so in case you let go, we're going to do the shadow boxing straight into the punching into the air. Straight. Bring the power from the abdomen and the torso. Go. Half a minute, half a minute. You can even add a mini steps or just keep the hips grounded and just turn the hips a little bit into the punch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Recovery. That was nice. Just again, you'll notice that the heart rate would respond the changes of the movement. So yeah, if it's gone up, it's normal. So you can either, if you want to take a pulse, you can. Otherwise, just walk around the room, just sort of shake the joints out. Hands can go through a lot of grip, can go through a lot of sort of holding throughout for about 90 seconds while we were doing the exercises. So yeah, absolutely fine. Now let's do an exercise, but this time with just one load. Whether you're holding a dumbbell or just it counts of beans, just hold one for me. Now think about, we've done the sort of a family of the exercises like a step. So I mean, we might have not done it with a punch. So we're gonna add a sort of like a horizontal sort of punch across the shoulder. But here's what we're going to do. Look, we're going to do it from an opposite leg. So just stay with me while I demonstrate 2 or 3 repetitions. So look, let's start with the right leg slightly forwards and keep you're not lunging down, he's taking a step back, yeah? I'll show you sort of modified versions of this exercise. As we drive this knee up, I want you to punch. And punch and freeze if you can. Yeah? Not freeze like forever, just punch and step back. Punch. With a free hand, look, I'm pulling and I'm extending my wrist. Maybe don't focus too much on me right now. Just visualize what we're about to do. So just take your body, look down onto the feet, look how we're going to connect. So step, pull, pull. Make sure your brain has enough time to sort of connect with the movement. It's okay to look at the screen, but it's not an easy exercise to execute, especially with this multiple joints working together. Yeah? If you wanted more balance from just as a easier, slightly easier, not too easy, but just hold with one hand on the chair and then go with this. Let's start where you feel comfortable. All right, change up the sides. Get the opposite arm ready. We're going to do this for about 45 seconds. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hang on. I need the opposite leg. There you go. Whoop. I want to try this side. Whoop. Imagine he's sort of pulling the door open and then he's punching into the space. Check of the time, 10 seconds. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and recover. This is sort of freedom of movement, you know? So if you can do this, if you're trying to practice and build up from your own comfortable space. And again, it's the first time you've done this. It took me a little while to sort of connect even today. I struggled more on the one last side than I did my first. So it's with a bit of practice, you can get those joints under control and perform the movement. So let's look at more of the lower body. We're going to bring back this static strength. We've all become so good. We've had to sort of raise the barrier, raise the bar, as they say. So let's find either a solid wall behind you or a door. If we can go and find that and just position your body almost not completely vertical into the body or onto the wall, but feet will come slightly forwards on an angle. Yeah, I will do the exactly same. And we're going to aim for at least 2-minute hold. If you can't do the position, just simply take a seat and maybe pretend that you're holding like a squat position is fine too. Yeah, so as an alternative of the exercise, you just hold into the squat. Get set, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Walk out and hold that position. We've started the time. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, join us. Use this like people talk about the meditation and how beneficial it is for the mind, but you could make this more of like a meditation as well. So just stay with your own with your own body. And remember, it's not a race. If something doesn't feel quite right, especially if you feel any sort of pressure around the knees or knees cracking, take a step in. Even can go a little bit higher. Just adjust the body as it feels today. You may notice that feet want to glide forwards depending on the surface on the floor. Careful, yeah. Especially push your heels down. We passed 1 minute 30, everybody. So let's see if we can go for another 2 minutes. If you're still not feeling anything, then that's good sign, but see if you can, last few seconds, just push even lower. So go a little bit lower than 90 degrees. Final 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly, slowly use your hands. Either lean forwards and just climb back up onto the, great work. That was just kick your heels back as it. Cool. Okay. We're doing perfect with time as well. We have 15 minutes of a bit more focused work, and we'll do final stretches at the end. But let's involve either an armchair or just stable chair. We're going to practice bring back this holding, almost like a top of a press up hold. If you have one of those office chairs that twist or swivel, be careful that it doesn't move around too much. You can do this on the floor, by the way. It is a bit harder, but you can take that option as well. I'm going to stay with the surface area from a chair. You can use the edge of the bed as well. But what we are going to do is this. Watch, take a look. It looks like a Superman or Superwoman type of hold. Look, taking the foot. I don't know if you can see my feet, but my heels are not touching. I am on my toes. So I'm literally pushing down into the floor. And what we're going to do is shift everything towards one side. Be careful with the balance. Can you go for this full extension? So entirely, be careful. I'm on one hand and 2 feet, so helping me, even if it's a quick one, and down. And what we're aiming for is smooth transition. So yeah, so almost 1, 2. I don't know if you can see this, but if it's too easy, what are you doing? Come and join me on the floor. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, everyone. Really good. Really, really good. Come back up. Roll the shoulders around. Yeah. So this is body finding, sort of connecting with the sort of holding position. It's known as static strength. So if you have a little mini break, I'm going to place this on the floor, and please prepare your exercise mat where you make sure you open it up and it's helping you just before we go on the floor. Yeah. As you get ready for the floor, see if you can bring one of these extra resistant weights. So if for any reason today it feels hard, impossible to go, you didn't know we were going to go down on the floor, just stay seated. I will show you some alternatives from a sitting position as well on the chair. Yeah, perfect. Thank you for changing the screen down. Okay, let's just lie on your back. Just loosen up the back. I'll explain the first exercise of the day. Let's use this to just still finding the way down. Use this little mini stretch to. Okay. The windscreen wipers. About 5 of these on each side. There we go. Okay. You can simply hold that relaxing position, but try to have your eyes towards the screen. And what we're going to do is, for next exercise, we're going to start a little bit higher. So rather than completely being on the floor, we're going to sort of sit like a boat-like position. We're going to need one of these loads or dumbbells. And here's what we're going to do. We're thinking about this sort of chopping motion. So look, taking the heels into the floor, lift this up, look, here, and then chop it to the side. While holding, so you're not completely sitting up, you're sort of leaning back, but finding your own sort of control the position that you can hold that sort of static hold where the abdominals have to work. Yeah. So, almost chopping across from outside, top, outside of your knee. Both hands around the object, around the dumbbell, or can. Let's go. 2 more. Doesn't have to be a big movement, by the way, just focus more on the speed. Let's change the angle. So if you were going to right to the left, go the opposite now. So 10 of those chops. Count your own repetitions, please. Yeah. Just remember what the body is doing. So yeah. Okay, relax once you've done your 10, roughly. Okay. Let's stay with this abdominal sort of area, but let's increase the difficulty of the exercise. So we're going to add a sort of sit-up-like position, but please be careful of the lower part of the spine. So make sure you got a really nice support under your buttocks. And as we go back, just think about this. Let me demonstrate the exercise first. So hands on around the cans or dumbbell, and look. We're going to load it up from the floor. So this is slight difference. So look, rather than over your shoulders, look. Slowly back. Chop across. So we can go left and right. See if it's possible. Give it a try. Why not? Right, look. We go back slowly. Slowly roll back up onto the spine. And as you come up with nice power, chop it to the side. Oh, yeah. So think about your arms are traveling always above your head. And the last second to chop. Nice. Slowly, slowly focusing on the way down. Well done. Let's get one more. If you simply just want to have a rest, you can. Yeah, well done. This is one of the beauty of any training, whether it's you can add the simple extra movements and make the exercise hell of a lot more challenging than you thought it was possible. So yeah. If you want to just relax your back, because it does, sit-ups are not the most friendly exercise for the back. Just lean over your straight legs, reaching towards the floor, just gather your thoughts, gather your breathing together. Let's put ourselves on the
sort of like a front position of our on the chest, so lying down. Change the position from sitting to lying from on the front, kids. I'll give you about 10-second countdown. Please position yourself into an elbow plank position. And we're all going to give it a try to our favorite exercise. That was a joke, but I think you probably got that. It was a joke. Idea is to really keep the body nice and still. Keep the body in this position. Get set, everyone, in 3, 2, 1. Let's go up. If it already started before I went, just add extra 10 seconds at the end. And we're approaching 1 minute, everyone. If your back is stable, if it starts to shake and vibrate, then touch your knees on the floor, relax. Here we go. Here we do for another 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and recover. Slowly drop the hips down. If you held this all the way to the end, well done. If you were able to do it more than 60 seconds, a really good job. Right, sit back into like a more relaxing position. You can either sit up or go into like almost like a child pose. We can do different stretches from there, but whatever feels relaxing for the body. You can even sit up if you want to. And next exercise is going to be for the abdominals, and I'll just give you a little demonstration. It's less of the sort of big movements, but mainly movements will come from the legs. Again, pushing your lower back into the floor. Shoot both legs towards the ceiling. And I would like you to try one leg at a time. Dropping it down slowly towards the floor. Avoid any sort of hard or just crushing your heels. Just a little tap, light, come back up. Okay, here's the aim of this exercise. Rather than me timing, I'd like you to count 20 altogether. So that will be 10 on each if you're alternating the legs. When you're ready, let's go. Have a rest when you finish up. Again, taking one knee across at a time, just a little more of a cross stretch. rest when you finish. Also, any exercise we perform, you will put pressure, although you may feel burn of the muscle in one area, but sometimes the opposite muscles have to take that pressure of. In this case, a good example would be a back. Would definitely you might have felt this in the front of the abdominals, but your lower back does have to compensate the movement, and that's where sometimes people feel the pressure. So it's good to stretch out the opposite muscle groups like we're doing now with a leg across. We have one more exercise, everyone, and let's focus. This one will be a bit more delicate in terms of the movement is involved. It's not a big move, but it's really important, especially for the back of the shoulders, especially the deltoids, the rear deltoids. So I'll just give you a quick demonstration and just take a look at the sort of control. So what we're going to think about sort of waving somebody, but from this shoulder. Does that make sense? From both hands. We're going to have the hands on the either side like this, look. Down. The knuckles down. Come up. And point your fingers towards the ceiling, if that makes sense, like that way, yeah? Down. That's with both shoulders simultaneously pointing up, hold, slowly down. Yeah, just prepare yourself in this position, and let's see if we can do 10 repetitions in your own time. Holding a pause for about 2-3 seconds at the top. Bringing back down slow. Keep your eyes down as you move. Raise the shoulders off the floor. Movement. Good. Once you finish your repetitions, sit back in a child pose-like position, relax your back. Drop your, reach your hands, stretch your fingers out ahead of you, and just push the shoulders down. You might feel a deeper stretch in your shoulders, in the back as well, side of the. Whew. Let's see if we can kneel up from this position. So taking a step, one leg up. So I'll show you this side first. A big open stretch of the hip. Otherwise, just come up and just hold. Try to find this sort of kneeling position on the floor, just without the hands. So hands on the floor, it makes it a little bit more challenging for the flexibility. So almost like a sprinter-like position, Isa. Yeah, 100-meter line up. Hold it. Shift the more weight into the hip if that feels comfortable. Okay, slowly switch your legs over. Go with the other leg, yeah. The wrist. you'll notice that a lot of the weight goes onto the hands, especially the wrists. So instead of having your wrists completely extended, you can try maybe put it on more fingers, although it's not the most optimal, but for a few seconds, it's absolutely fine, for like 10 seconds at a time. Okie dokes. Let's go up into a standing position, whichever way you like. You can jump up, hop up, or climb up, doesn't matter. Okay, let's retest the final sort of flexibility of the with a nice straight legs. So adjust your screens if you need to, but take a deep inhale from the top of the body, and when you're ready, exhale and reach out. See if it feels more or less comfortable. You never know, right? So for me, I always feel more sort of free in the back, having done sort of stretches and exercises first than at the beginning. So yeah, just wiggle the shoulders, come back up slowly, and then perhaps try one more. So altogether we'll do at least 2. Great. Roll it up. As you come back up, take a deep breath in, roll the shoulders 3 times. And rub the hands. And then just give your skin a little pinch. That is, it's here. It's did a lot of things today. So well done, guys. This concluded today's session. So yeah, good to have you back. Some faces that I haven't seen for a little while. It's always nice to see the return of